Deception by Constance Cumbey. This is Chapter 5, Holography. And remember, this was published in 1985. Quote, "Not since the advent of motion picture photography has there been a development with so much potential for reorienting our concepts of visual image making as holography. The technique of using still life laser transmissions to create an image that has depth. This volume takes you into the wondrous world between matter and energy, real and surreal, object and idea, to explore the social dimensions, political consciousness, and aesthetic developments that have shaped this revolutionary art." Unquote. From the Holography book by Jeff Byrne, 1980. Holography in the New World Religion. As a young woman, Lola Davis was married to a fundamentalist Christian missionary in India. She was initially a dutiful missionary wife. Her original intentions, as were Alice Bailey's, were to take the gospel to the Hindus. Unfortunately, they instead evidently converted her. This may or may not have contributed to the split between Lola and her husband. In 1950, they divorced. Picking up the pieces of her former life, she advanced academically and professionally. She became both a psychologist and an educator. Her interest in comparative religions deepened to full-blown interest in the occult. This interest grew when she relocated in California. There she served on the faculty of the Santa Ana College. At that time, she privately studied under what she calls two spiritual teachers. In 1980, she wrote her first book to date called Toward a World Religion for the New Age. The book was successful in New Age circles. Lucis Trust itself undersaw its distribution. One can count on one hand the number of authors, other than Alice and Foster Bailey, that Lucis Trust has so honored. Lola Davis believes, and evidently Lucis Trust concurs, that holographic phenomena will be a very important part of the New World Religion. Her book gives that topic nearly half a chapter. In her introduction to this topic, she says, quote, "Within the past few years, a theory has been developing which may further unify all aspects of mankind, including its religions. Because this theory has not yet had wide circulation among non-scientists, I am including a discussion of it so we may use some of its concepts when we are thinking about a world religion for the new age." Unquote. That theory was, she said, the holographic theory of the universe. Dr. Lola Davis is not alone. Other influential New Agers have stressed this also. Marilyn Ferguson in the Aquarian Conspiracy included an extensive discussion of holographic theory. She summarizes the holographic supertheory by saying, quote, "In a nutshell, the holographic supertheory says that our brains mathematically construct hard reality by interpreting frequencies from a dimension transcending time and space. The brain is a hologram, interpreting a holographic universe." Getting into yet another area of New Age fascination, images, she says, quote, "The holographic model also helps explain the strange power of the image. Why events are affected by what we imagine, what we visualize. An image held in a transcendental state may be made real." Pause. An image held in a transcendental state may be made real. I'm sorry, I'm going off the topic a little bit, but I am thinking about all the people that are having images or visions of Jesus in heaven and going to heaven and riding on the beach. Riding on horses with Jesus on the beach and Jesus riding motorcycles and Jello cities in heaven, all that stuff. An image held in a transcendental state may be made real. Reading this, I was beginning to catch a glimpse of perhaps one reason why God so sternly commanded, "Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them." Unquote. In 1938, Alice Bailey hinted that the real work of a group to be formed in connection with a new world religion could not go forth until a certain scientific discovery has been made of such moment that our present scientific inhibition in recognizing the fact of the soul as a creative factor will disappear. She further predicted that this discovery would be part of the acknowledged facts of science by the year 1975. Pause. 1975 comes up a lot with Alice Bailey, and it also happens to be when the Seven Mountain Mandate happened with Bill Bright and Lauren Cunningham, 50 years after Alice Bailey predicted it. Oh boy. Anyway, unpause. Sorry, I'm hung up on the Nor. I am a little bit. It is quite possible and even probable what her demonic master told her was about future holographic discoveries. They are widely proclaimed by the New Agers as something that will make the unification of science and religion possible. The unification of science and religion. That's like sorcery and stuff. Anyway. The Holography book. Jeff Berner's The Holography book is a current popular reference on holography. I obtained my first copy of it from the photography department of a secular paperback bookstore in the Detroit metropolitan area. Initially, I was searching only for technical information on holograms. I felt led to do so because of ridicule heaped upon me by some members of the Christian community. I had received it because I quoted David Spangler's statement to a Southfield, Michigan group in February 1982. There he told the group that laser beam projectors had been placed upon the Cathedral of St. John the Divine in New York City for the New Agers' use. Therefore, I was looking for technical data, not New Age mysticism. However, I was to find Berner's book, which combined both. The author even included such obvious New Age sources as Marilyn Ferguson's Brain Mind Bulletin. Holograms and the Age of Aquarius. Many of the readers of this book no doubt watched the roasting I endured on the John Ankerberg program. Pause. I want to look that up. I don't know if that's still available, but I would really like to see that. She got roasted by John Ankerberg. Anyway, there too, Walter Martin associates Gretchen Passantino and Chet Lackey heaped both ridicule and abuse upon me. Chet Lackey hurled the most abusive verbiage of all. He claimed to have technical information about holographic techniques. He said his experts told him that such uses of holograms, freestanding aerial holograms, were quite impossible. He further ridiculed any notion of occult usage of them. Let us here consider instead what the recognized experts in this field have stated about the potential user of holograms. David A. Goodman, Ph.D., is the founder of the Newport Neuroscience Center of Culver City, California. He is also a New Age activist of holographic technology. He said, "How an age of the hologram might come about. We rediscover what Joland Jacobi and Miguel Serrano in Zurich, 1964. She said, Young is very much afraid. Perhaps a war or catastrophe might take place in the year 1964. but quite the contrary. As we now know, the opening year of the Age of Aquarius was a most exciting one for holography. Consider the hologram as most appropriate to the Aquarian age. It is formed by the interference of waves on the surface of still water. Viewed with a laser, the acoustic image seems to bob above the surface as a spirit rising through the meniscus. In acoustic holography, as some disciples of C.G. Jung may have already discovered, we have the mandala of the new epoch, which is, as Jolande Jacobi never told Miguel Serrano, an emerging age of the hologram. The reader will recall that Jungian archetypes are an important part of the Peter LeMesurier's Armageddon script. It would appear from this that the hologram is being used as a device to capture spirits. It further seems highly likely that this might well be the device referred to in Revelation 13, where it was said that the beast caused the image to speak. Hologram artists. Pause again. I will try to add this to the video. I'm not sure if I'll remember, but just a couple years ago, we had a hologram thing with Marina Abramovic connected to Microsoft. So, just saying. And she's supposedly an artist. A witch artist. Okay, hologram artists. Another perspective on the holography issue comes from artists working with the medium of holography. Judging from California holography artist Vince D. Bias's words, medium may truly have a double meaning. Really? Quote, the process of thinking may be holographic in nature. Looking at holograms is seeing with the mind's eye, a three-dimensional visual thought form, seeing inside the bubble of our primal being, listening to the echoes of almost forgotten unity. Cut a corner off a hologram. Look at it. You will see the entire image from the original hologram, just as the little bit of spirit within each of us is holographic in nature. Wow. Unquote. Exactly. I'm sorry, he didn't say quote. He didn't say wow. I said wow before I said unquote. So, anyway, sorry. Exactly what is this symbolic meaning of holography? What significance does it have to New Age art? Larry Lieberman, the president of the Holographic Research Lab in Columbus, Ohio, explains it this way. Holography is a true art force. It will carry us into new dimensions of vision, expansion, and reality. It bridges the gap between the two sides of man, technical and psychic. When these two sides of man's nature are in harmony, aesthetic expression flourishes. Holography demands vision, knowledge, and skill, which are traits only found in the holistic mind. From mind to mind, holography communicates a new dimension of thought. If a desire to create an idea is present, one must find the knowledge or reference to facilitate its creation. The idea is the object, and the source to create it is the reference. As in holography, one must interfere the object beam with the reference beam to create the hologram. Therefore, creation is not self-made. Holography combines both man's intuitive and technical sides. This brings man into harmony with his true nature, which is both material and spiritual. Unquote. Pause. That also reminded me a little bit of some, like, I don't know, name it, claim it kind of. If you believe it, it's true. You know, if you can have faith to believe it and make it happen. If you don't have faith, then if it doesn't happen, you don't have faith. Unpause, sorry. In New Age terms, reaching the true nature is the same as reaching one's higher self. This in its turn is nothing more than making contact with a spirit guide, or in short, a demonic entity. Most New Agers don't believe there is a devil. Therefore, it would not occur to them that the beings or spirits that they have reached are anything but benevolent. They usually believe they have contacted God himself, but since they believe all is God, including themselves, they label this their higher selves. They then take the instructions of this higher self as gospel, rather than the other gospel of perdition that it truly is. Holography will undoubtedly play a role in the prophesied great deception. The Bible tells us it will come over the earth in the last days. This deception has already begun for the millions caught up in the mysticism of the New Age movement. Pause. This also sounds a lot like the metaverse and the virtual reality. And I've been trying to tell my kids and grandkids, don't go in the metaverse. Don't go in the metaverse. They just laugh at me. They think I'm crazy. So anyway, unpause. Strawberry Gatz, a Los Angeles holographer, all too eloquently conveys the magnitude of that deceit. Quote, holograms are the first visual piece of the new world we have just entered. There is no past history or legends of such a thing, except as a dream of everyone to see, make, or possess a three-dimensional image. Holography is related to some other areas of expanding awareness of realities that are appearing on levels such as music, relation of vibrations to emotions and physical forms of matter, acupuncture, electrical circuits within the human body and all living things, including the earth, and Kirlian photography, visual evidence of relationships of color and vibrations. Holography is ushering the world into the age of light, for we who are working with lasers are truly children of light. Rather than being children of light, they are hostages of a deceiving angel of light. May their search soon lead to Jesus Christ, the true light. And that is the end of chapter 5 of A Planned Deception. And here are the chapter notes. I will leave a link below to the PDF that you can download and read yourself. And next is chapter 6, Disarmament and the New World Order. Thanks for listening or watching.
Run.
There's just one name that can keep you out of hell, and it's the name of Jesus. The name of Jesus. The name of Jesus.